The Democrats are using a phony indictment to try to take out Rick Perry. The goal is to make sure Perry does not win the Republican nomination, because Perry might be the strongest candidate the Republican Party can put up. As I've mentioned before, a lot of times Republicans like to vote for candidates who've run before and have been tested and have learned from their mistakes and have grown. And I think that certainly fits Rick Perry. And his record on the border has been wonderful, in which he's really stood up to Obama in a way that, frankly, no other Republican has during the second term. So, naturally, the highest nail gets hammered down, and the Democrats have come up with a totally phony indictment of Rick Perry. Many of you may have seen the video of the District Attorney Lemberg kind of slobbering and lurching around the police station in Austin, Texas, where she was arrested for DUI, her third or fourth such arrest. And she was sentenced to, I think, 3 or 4 weeks in jail, and then ended up spending at least 2 weeks in jail. After she was let go, the governor of the state, Rick Perry, said, "You're not equipped, you're not qualified to be the district attorney of Travis County, that includes Austin, nor are you qualified to be the head of the Public Integrity Unit for the state," both of which jobs Lemberg had held. And he called on her to resign. She refused. He said, "If you don't quit, I'm going to veto your appropriation." And she didn't quit. He vetoed it, and now she's indicted him, claiming that he's overstepping his bounds as governor. Well, since when does it overstep the bounds of a governor to decide how much money to appropriate to what agency within his constitutional role as governor? It's absolutely absurd. It's a ridiculous indictment that will probably get tossed early on. But its purpose is to knock Perry out of the presidential race. And it's part of the criminalization of politics. There's another crazy investigation going on of Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, claiming that when the labor unions filed a recall petition forcing him to run again as governor in the middle of his term, that he coordinated illegally with some of the independent expenditures that were made on his behalf. Probably untrue, in any case hardly worthy of a criminal proceeding at that level, and the courts so far have thrown it out. But this process of criminalizing politics is really deadly. One of the big reasons the Democrats have a majority in the Senate is that Paul Begich, a Democrat, is the senator from Alaska, a Republican state. And the way Begich got elected is he was running against Ted Stevens, the longtime incumbent from Alaska. And Stevens was going to walk into a re-election when he was indicted. And then after trial was convicted. And after the conviction, Stevens was defeated, although not by much. Stevens subsequently died in a plane crash. But after the conviction, Stevens' defense lawyers appealed to a higher court on the grounds of prosecutorial misconduct. And a federal district court judge had a fit, throwing out the indictment, throwing out the conviction. Couldn't do anything because Stevens was dead. Begich had to take the seat. But at the same time, he suspended the prosecutors involved and made sure that they no longer worked for the Justice Department. Criminalizing politics is very, very dangerous. But this is something we can have in our own hands at the moment, because we're the goal. In making this indictment, they're not trying to stop Perry be governor of Texas. He is term limited anyway. They're not trying to stop him from winning the presidency. He hasn't been nominated yet. They're trying to knock him out of the Republican primary nominating field. And it's up to you and me, whether we're going to support Perry ultimately or not, to make sure that he's not knocked out and that we understand this indictment for the phony thing it is. Thanks very much.